All right, folks, strap yourselves in because today's deep dive is going to be juicy, straight from the December 8th PIB release. And it's especially relevant if you're prepping for those big league exams, RBI, SEBI, NABARD. Heck, even the UPSC. We're talking India's digital transformation.
Massive.
Total game changer. And, hey, while you're here, do us a favor and hit that like button. And subscribe to the channel, of course. Oh, and don't forget to smash that bell icon for daily doses of all this good stuff. All right, let's dive in, shall we?
It's fascinating how India isn't just adopting digital tools at this point. They're actually creating a whole new playbook, especially for countries in the global south. It's not about catching up anymore. It's about leading the way.
Yeah, it's like India's building the digital equivalent of,
yeah,
highways and bridges.
But for government services and information,
Right.
No more standing in those endless lines, hopefully.
Exactly. And this shift is impacting every single corner of governance. Look at the explosion of data centers in India, for instance. They're like the backbone of this whole digital revolution. Yeah, the PIB release mentioned these national data centers. NDCs, they call them. What's the big deal about them?
Think of them like fortresses of data, strategically located in major cities. They provide the secure and reliable foundation for government ministries and agencies to store and manage huge amounts of data. We're talking a storage capacity of 100 petabytes, which is, well, let's just say it's a lot.
Okay, that's got to be a lot of data. So we've got these data centers humming along, but how does that translate into actual services for people, for you and me?
Well, that's where things like the NIC's National Cloud Services Project come in. They're using this super robust infrastructure to, enhance the speed and efficiency of e-governance. Over 300 government departments are already on board, using these cloud services for everything, digital payments to identity verification.
So instead of waiting weeks for paperwork, now things are happening in real time.
Exactly. And it's not just about speed either. Think about what this means for transparency and accountability. With everything digitized, it's much harder for things to, slip through the cracks.
That makes a lot of sense. The PIB release also talks about this McGraw initiative. How does that fit into everything?
McGraw is all about optimizing the use of cloud tech across the government. It's like a master plan to ensure everyone's on the same page, using cloud resources efficiently and collaborating to develop and deploy eGov apps quickly.
Okay, so I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. You've got data centers as the foundation, cloud computing as the engine, and things like McGraw are like the steering wheel, guiding everything in the right direction.
Precisely. Now let's talk about something really central to all of this, digital public infrastructure, or DPI. This is where things get really interesting, especially for you future policymakers out there.
Yeah, the release compares DPI to traditional infrastructure like roads and bridges. But for the digital world, so paint me a picture. What does this DPI actually look like?
Imagine a set of digital building blocks that are accessible to everyone, secure, and able to talk to each other seamlessly. That's DPI in a nutshell. And India has already made some really incredible strides in this area.
I'm thinking Aadhaar, right? That's got to be a prime example.
Absolutely. Aadhaar, the world's largest digital ID program, has issued over 138 crore unique IDs. Now, think about what that means for governance. It's not just about eliminating fake IDs, it's enabling targeted welfare programs, financial inclusion, and so much more.
Wow, so Aadhaar is like the foundational layer. That makes so many other digital services possible. What else falls under this DPI umbrella?
Well, there's a Unified Payments Interface, or UPI. It's revolutionizing digital payments. Makes it easier than ever to send and receive money, even in the smallest villages. As of June 2024, UPI facilitated a mind-blowing 24,100 crore transactions.
Oh, wow. I use UPI all the time, but I never really thought about the bigger picture. That's massive.
It really is. And then there's DigiLocker, where you can store and access all your important documents digitally. No more digging through piles of paper to find your degree certificate or passport. Over 37 crore users and counting. It's becoming the go-to platform for document management and verification.
This all sounds incredibly convenient. But are there any, potential downsides? Or unintended consequences that we should be thinking about?
That's a really important question, especially for anyone aiming to shape policy in this space. While the benefits are undeniable, questions around data privacy, security, and accessibility need to be carefully considered.
Okay, so it's about finding that sweet spot between innovation and responsible implementation. What else should we know about DPI?
Well, there's Diksha, the world's largest education platform, with over 556 crore learning sessions delivered. It's totally transforming the way we learn and teach, making quality education accessible to millions. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
So DPI is touching everything from finance and education to healthcare and government operations.
Exactly. We have platforms like GEM for government procurement, UMANG for accessing government services, and API Set 2 for open APIs, all contributing to a more connected and efficient digital ecosystem. It's not just about convenience. It's about improving service delivery, transparency, and citizen engagement.
It's like building an entire digital nervous system for India, connecting everything and everyone. Okay, I'm starting to get a little overwhelmed here. There's so many different pieces to this puzzle.
It is a lot to take in. Let's focus on one key piece that connects all these digital initiatives, the National Knowledge Network, or NKN.
Okay, the NKN, what's that all about?
Imagine a high-speed data network that links every major data center and institution across India. That's the NKN. It's the superhighway that enables all these G2G and G2C services, and research collaboration. It ensures data flows seamlessly across the country.
So it's like the circulatory system of digital India, keeping everything connected and flowing. It makes sense why that's important.
It's incredibly extensive. Over 1,800 links with institutions and over 600 links with district centers. This connectivity is crucial for the smooth functioning of e-governance and the delivery of digital services to every corner of the country.
Okay, so the NKN is like this hidden infrastructure, quietly powering India's digital transformation. But what about people in rural areas who might not have the same level of access to technology? How is India bridging that digital divide?
Well, that's where the Common Services Centers, or CSCs, come in. Think of them as, digital empowerment hubs, strategically located in rural areas across the country.
Yeah, the PIB release says there are over 5.8 lakh CSCs operational, and a huge chunk are at the Gram Panchayat level. So they're really getting into the heart of rural India. What kind of services are we talking about here?
Oh, we're talking a whole gamut of services. Everything from accessing government schemes and financial services to education, healthcare, even agriculture. They're designed to be one-stop shops for rural communities, bringing the power of the digital world right to their doorstep.
So it's not just about providing internet access. It's about making sure people can actually use those digital tools to, improve their lives.
Exactly. And it's not just about access to services either. These CSCs are creating employment opportunities, empowering local entrepreneurs to run these centers, and contributing to the economic development of rural areas.
That's a win-win. Bridging the digital divide and fostering economic growth at the same time. Okay, so we've talked about the infrastructure, the data centers, cloud services, the NKN, and the COCs reaching the remotest corners. But how are people actually using these digital tools to, interact with the government?
But there's things get really exciting. Let's talk about citizen-centric services. This is the kind of stuff that's going to be crucial for you as you navigate those government exams.
All right, lay it on me. What are some of the key initiatives that stand out?
Well, imagine having a single app on your phone. That gives you access to over 2,000 government services. That's UMANG, the Unified Mobile Application for New Age Governance.
Hold on, over 2,000 services. That's practically everything.
It covers everything, from applying for a passport or a PAN card, to paying utility bills, accessing healthcare services, even filing your income tax returns.
Okay, I'm definitely downloading that app after this. But what if you need to access multiple services? Do you have to log in separately for each one? Talk about a hassle.
That's where Merpekhan comes in. It's a national single sign-on service, meaning you can use one set of credentials to access a whole bunch of government services. No more juggling multiple usernames and passwords.
That's brilliant. So it's like having a digital key that unlocks a whole world of government services.
Exactly. And we're seeing a massive adoption rate, over 132 core transactions processed on this platform. Clearly, citizens are embracing this simplified approach.
Makes sense. What else is making life easier for citizens in this digital India?
Think about those times you had to physically sign a document and get it notarized. Remember the hassle? Well, with e-Hostakshar, those days are fading fast.
Right, the e-sign service. So now you can digitally sign documents with legal validity. What a time saver.
And it's not just about convenience. Think about the environmental impact. Less paper, less transportation, less bureaucracy. It's a win-win.
Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. Digital India is all about making things faster, easier, and more efficient for everyone. But it's not just about individual citizens, right? What about organizations and businesses?
You're spot on. A lot of the initiatives we've discussed, like DigiLocker and e-Hostakshar, are being scaled up for organizations as well. For instance, Entity Locker is like DigiLocker. but designed for businesses and institutions to securely store and manage their documents.
So this digital transformation is really permeating every sector of society.
Absolutely. And to make this all work seamlessly, we need a way for different government systems to talk to each other, to share data and services. That's where API Setu comes in.
Wait, break that down for me. What are APIs?
Think of APIs as messengers that allow different software systems to communicate and exchange information. So for instance, your banking app can talk to a government portal to verify your identity or process a payment.
Okay, that makes sense. So API Setu is like a platform that makes it easier for different government systems to work together.
Exactly. And with over 6,000 APIs published and over 312 core transactions facilitated, it's clear that API Setu is playing a vital role in creating a more connected and efficient digital ecosystem.
So we have all these digital tools and services in place. But what about citizen engagement? How is the government using technology to listen to the voices of the people?
That's where MyGov comes in. It's the government's citizen engagement platform, a space where citizens can share their ideas, opinions, and feedback on various policies and programs.
Like a virtual town hall, where people can engage directly with the government.
Exactly. And it's a powerful tool for fostering transparency and accountability. With over 4.8 crore registered users, it's clear that people are eager to participate and have their voices heard.
You know, I'm starting to see how all these different initiatives fit together, like pieces of a puzzle, creating a more efficient, transparent, and citizen-centric government.
You're getting it. And it's not just about citizen-facing services. This digital transformation is revolutionizing how the government itself operates.
Let's dive into that. What are some of the key initiatives that are changing the way the government works behind the scenes?
Well, we've talked about DigiLocker for citizens, but did you know that government officials are using a similar platform called Collab Files to create, manage, and share documents?
So it's like a shared digital workspace for government officials.
Exactly. It's all about streamlining workflows, fostering collaboration, and moving towards a paperless government.
And I imagine that's way more efficient and secure than sending files back and forth via email.
Absolutely. And to further enhance security and efficiency, government officials are also using GovDrive, a cloud-based storage service.
So it's like having a secure digital filing cabinet that they can access from anywhere.
Precisely. And to tie it all together, we have the Gov Intranet platform, a central hub where officials can access all these different tools and services. It's like a digital nervous system for the government, connecting everything and everyone.
Okay, I'm really starting to grasp the scale and ambition of this whole digital transformation. It's not just about making things convenient for citizens. It's about fundamentally changing the way the government operates, from the inside out.
That's a great way to put it. And it's a journey that requires constant innovation, adaptation, and a keen understanding of the challenges involved.
It's really incredible, isn't it, how technology is reshaping, not just how citizens interact with the government, but also how the government itself functions.
Oh, absolutely. It's like we're watching a complete system overhaul right in front of our eyes, making it more efficient, more transparent, and definitely more responsive to the needs of the people.
Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier, the Common Services Centers, or CSCs.
Ah, yeah, the CSCs. You know, they're the unsung heroes of India's digital revolution. They're bringing the power of technology to the most remote parts of the country, empowering those rural communities in ways we've never seen before.
The PIB release highlights that over 4.6 lakh CSCs are operating at the gram panchayat level. That's some serious outreach. What does that actually mean for people living in those areas?
It means they don't have to travel miles and miles to access essential government services. They can, apply for schemes, access healthcare through things like telemedicine, receive financial services, even learn new skills, all from their local CSC.
So CSCs are like these digital oases, in a way, bridging the gap between the digital world and those who might otherwise get left behind.
Exactly. And they're not just like service delivery points either. They're becoming these vibrant hubs of economic activity, creating jobs, encouraging entrepreneurship in those rural areas.
That's like a ripple effect.
Yes.
Spreading those benefits of digitalization far and wide.
Precisely. And it's a testament to India's commitment to inclusive growth, making sure no one is left behind in this whole digital revolution.
So for our listeners out there, especially those getting ready for exams like RBI, SEBI, NABARD, heck, even the UPSC, what's the one key takeaway from all of this?
I'd say the key takeaway is this. India's digital transformation is a story of innovation, inclusion, and empowerment. It's about leveraging tech to build a more efficient, transparent, and citizen-centric government.
It's about understanding the vision, the initiatives, the challenges, and the impact of this transformation on every aspect of governance
Yeah.
and how public services are delivered. It's about recognizing that this isn't just a technological shift. It's a fundamental change in how India functions as a nation.
And it's a journey, for sure. There's still so much work to be done, but the progress so far, remarkable. India isn't just embracing the digital future, it's actively shaping it. And for aspiring policymakers and regulators, understanding this transformation is, well, it's crucial.
Absolutely. We've only just scratched the surface here. But hopefully this deep dive has given you a solid foundation for understanding the sheer scale and ambition of India's digital revolution. So keep those brains buzzing, explore these topics further, and we'll catch you in the next episode.